If you're not already there, let's begin today in a comfortable seated position, allowing the eyes to softly shut, letting the shoulders relax, reaching the crown of the head high, slightly engaging your core to feel a little more length in the spine. Feel your sit bones relaxing down into the earth. And at first, just notice your breath, starting to let go of everything that brought you here today, letting go of all of those stories, all of those responsibilities, all of your bills, all of those things that you have to get done in your life, all of those ideas that you're trying to create, all of those things that you need, desire, or want, all of the craziness that is your life. It will all be waiting for you an hour from now, I promise. See if you can take all of that effort, all of that awareness, and just bring it into your breath. And at first, just notice how you're breathing. Does your breath get caught in a shoulder or a knee? Can you feel that spot relax with the exhale? And then start to elongate your inhales and exhales. Perhaps if your mind is still trying to grab your attention, if it's still trying to talk with you, all of that left brain chatter, maybe just count your inhales and exhales. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. If you'd like, you can just keep those numbers going in your head, focusing on the numbers, focusing on those inhales and those exhales. So often, in order to find new ideas, new space, new creativity, we think that we have to force ourselves into all of these impossible positions and impossible situations, when sometimes we just need a break from it all. We just need to come back to something as simple as counting our breath, allowing nothing but those numbers to go through your mind as your breath goes through your body. So throughout our practice today, I want you to always come back to this same breath, counting to yourself, those inhales and exhales, no matter where you find yourself. With this space in mind, inhale the arms out to the side, all the way up into the sky. Hold the breath at the top. Bring the palms together and exhale them down in between the eyes to the third eye. May your practice cultivate enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the mouth. May your practice cultivate enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the heart. May all of your practices cultivate an enlightened heart. Reach your hands out in front of you, roll up over your hips, and just come right into child's pose. Fingers out in front of you, hips down towards your heels. Take a few deep breaths, feeling the length in your low back. Same long inhales and long exhales. Finding those same long inhales for 4, 3, 2, 1. Long exhales, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to think about each movement, asana in our practice, as a distraction from this breath. No matter where you find yourself, always coming back to the same space. And know that this pose is there for you any time that you need it. Always listen to your breath. Inhale, coming up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take an inhale in, coming up to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the right knee, let the left heel sink down. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the right. Inhale up one more time, and bend the left. Inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet, feeling your sit bones get a little bit higher. Anchor down with that pinky ring finger, and then the other three fingers, feel them lengthening out in front of you. And then relax the heels down toward the earth. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Relax the shoulders back, still spreading the fingers, reach the heels back behind you. Take one more inhale in. Exhale down to chaturanga, elbows in, shoulders way out over the fingers. Inhale through and up, upward facing dog or cobra. Keep the arms bent. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up to your back bend of choice, listening to your body. Exhale back, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale coming forward. Exhaling down. Inhale through and up. Exhaling back. Inhale coming up to the balls of the feet, turn the gaze forward, step or float to the front of the mat. Exhale down, an easy forward fold. Allow your feet to be hip distance apart. Big toes a little bit closer than the heels a little bit farther away, so that you can slightly internally rotate from the hips. You can clasp opposite elbows. Let the head be heavy. Shake it yes and no. You can rock from side to side. Releasing down. Finding that breath. Same long inhales and long exhales. Release the hands. Inhale coming halfway up, tucking the chin, feeling that length. Exhale melts down a little bit deeper. As you inhale, bend into your knees. Keep the fingers grazing the earth. Exhale, hold the position. And then inhale yourself up for Utkatasana with the knees at hip distance apart. They're going to want to try to collapse in. See if you can hold them all in line, the heels, knees, and hips in line. And then find a neutral spot for your pelvis so it's not sticking out behind you or tucking underneath you. Relaxing the shoulders down. Breathe up through the fingertips. Still finding those same long inhales and long exhales. Take one more big inhale in. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Take the right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Push down with the left hand. Now that left knee is going to try to collapse in to the right. See if you can engage the outside of that right thigh and left thigh to keep the knees parallel to each other. With every inhale, feeling the crown of the head reaching a little farther forward, feeling that length in the spine. With every exhale, twisting a little deeper. Strengthening the hips, warming them up. Take one more inhale in. And exhale, straighten your legs, relaxing down. Inhale, bend into the knees, reach the fingers up, Utkatasana. Exhale, the heart, elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Push down with that right hand, opening up that right shoulder up into the sky. Knees parallel to each other, not collapsing in, not one knee in front of the other. Find that breath. Same long inhales, long exhales. Down into that deep space, that deep twisted diaphragm. One more big inhale in, open that right shoulder a little more. And exhale, straighten your legs, relaxing down to the earth. Take a few deep breaths, releasing the weight of the head. Notice if your forward fold feels any different. And then start to transfer your weight a little bit more toward the balls of your feet, but lift your toes and softly place them back down so that you're not gripping with your toes. Finding that breath. Putting a bend into the knees, place the hands down, stepping back to plank or jumping to chaturanga. Head down through your vinyasa, exhaling down 2 inches off the earth. Inhale through and up. And then exhale back to child's pose, knees nice and wide. Hips down toward the heels. A few deep breaths. Notice if your child's pose feels any different. Notice if your hips feel any different, if your breath feels any different. And notice any thoughts that have come up. Any internal dialogue that's trying to grab your attention. Notice anything in your body, anything in your mind that's come up. This is everything that your creativity has to work through in order to come into existence. All of these little distractions, all of these things trying to grab your attention. It's all of your stuff, that whatever it is that you're trying to create is blocked by. So see if you can just let it go as you breathe. Inhale, coming up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Engage the obliques. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale that heel up one more time. Exhale, knee to nose. Softly place the right foot down. Place the left heel down. Bring the right toes parallel to the left. Relax down, wide-legged forward fold. You can clasp opposite elbows again if you'd like. Rock from side to side. Transferring the weight again slightly toward the balls of the feet, but lifting the toes so they're not gripping. Find the release in the head. And then interlacing the hands behind your back. Take a moment to release the head. One giant step. Inhale yourself up to standing. Bring the heels in, toes out. We're going to work on warming up the hips before we work on the flexibility. So go ahead and bend down into the knees. Interlace the hands behind the neck so that your pinky is touching the back of your head and your thumbs are in between your shoulder blades. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, right elbow to right knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, left elbow to left knee. Inhale through center. Right elbow to right knee. Take a few breaths here. Reach the right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Trying to not let that left knee collapse in, so reaching out to the left side, tucking the hips underneath you. Finding that breath. Bend a little deeper into the knees. On an inhale, keeping the arms as they are, coming back to standing. Exhale, bend a little deeper. Inhale the right heel up into the sky. Exhale, place it down. Inhale the left heel up. Exhale, place it down. Inhale both heels up. A few deep breaths. Bend a little deeper into the knees. Relax the shoulders down. Feel the shoulder blades reaching in toward each other. Find those same long inhales, long exhales. One more inhale in. Exhale, place the heels down, straighten the legs, relax down, forward fold. A few deep breaths. Start to walk over toward the right toes, turn the right toes out, coming up to the ball of the left foot. Place the left knee down, untuck the toes. First here, to really check your alignment. Be sure that that right heel is underneath the right knee, and that the right knee is lined up right with that right hip joint. You might need to take that right foot out a little farther to the side than you usually do. And then again, check the left. Left hip left knee, left toes. And then slowly come up to that thigh, crossing the forearms, but still tucking the pelvis underneath you. Be sure that you don't sink in to that right hip in order to get your hips closer down to the earth so that your pelvis is no longer parallel to the front of your mat. Bring the right hip back toward the back of the mat, left hip toward the front of the mat. Sit up tall. Same breath. Find those long inhales, long exhales. And then as you're ready, inhale the arms up. Pulling that right heel back towards you to engage underneath the right leg. Shoulders down, breathing through to the fingertips. And you can stay here, or if you'd like, you can tuck those left toes. Reach that left heel back behind you. Finding that same breath. If you come up for crescent pose, really tuck the hips underneath you, engage the core, take the arch out of the spine, shoulders down, left heel back behind you. Take one more inhale in wherever you are. And then reach that left hand down to the inside of the right foot, right fingers up into the sky. On the ground. Push down with the top of that left foot so that you can tuck the right hip underneath you a little bit more. If those left toes are tucked, really reach the left heel back behind you to find a little more space to tuck that right hip in so it's not sticking out to the right side. Breathing so that your belly button pushes into that right thigh. Opening up that right shoulder just a little bit more. Take one more inhale in. And exhale, place that right hand down on the outside of the right foot. Place the left knee down if it is not down already. Inhale, coming up to the fingers. Shine the heart up. Exhale, rolling back. Flex the right toes, reaching the crown of the head down. Inhale, rolling forward. Shine the heart up. Push down with the top of that left foot. And exhale, rolling back. Flex the toes, crown of the head down. Inhale, rolling forward. And exhale, rolling back. Now, if you'd like, you can stay right here. Or you can come all the way back, sitting on that left heel. Or you can sit on the inside of that left heel. Whatever you need so that you can release down toward those right toes. Stopping anywhere along the way and thinking about getting your belly button down toward that right thigh. And the crown of your head down toward the right toes. So flexing those right toes back towards you. Finding that breath. On an inhale, coming all the way forward to the lunge. Place the hands down on either side of that foot. Tuck the left toe. Send the right foot back to meet the left. Maybe all the way up into the sky to let that hip go. Bend the knee. Whatever you need to let that right hip go. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Maybe taking a few breaths in your back bend. Side to side, letting that. Exhale back to child's pose. Take a big breath in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth and sigh it out. One more time, big breath in. Open the mouth and let it go. We just did a lot of work on that right hip. So just breathe into it. A mantra that I used to say to myself when I was going through my healing with yoga was, follow the pain with your breath. Pain is our body's way of letting us know that something needs our attention. Now, there's a difference between the ache of a sore muscle and the sharp stab of injury. So if you're feeling an ache right now, breathe a little deeper. Let that space go. If you're feeling a sharp stabbing pain, back off a little. Take a break. Listen to your body. Listen to your breath. We have another side. So inhale, coming up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that left heel up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale that heel up one more time. Exhale, knee to nose. Softly place that left foot down near the left hand. Place the right heel down. Bring the left toes in parallel to the right. Pasarita Padottanasana. Nice wide-legged forward fold. A few breaths. This time, bring your hands to your hips. And inhale up with a flat back. Bring your heels in toward each other. Standing up tall. Bend into the knees. Interlace the fingers behind your neck. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, left elbow down, left knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, right elbow to right knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, left to left knee. Take a few breaths here. Reach the left fingertips down, right fingertips up. Really tucking the hips underneath you. Be sure that the right knee isn't collapsing in, but reaching out back behind you. Finding your breath, opening that right shoulder a little bit more. Finding those same 4-count inhales, 4-count exhales. Keeping the knees bent, keeping the arms as they are. Inhale, coming to center. Exhale, bend a little deeper. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale it down. Inhale the right heel up. Exhale it down. Inhale both heels up. Breathe. Bring your shoulder blades in behind you. Relax the shoulders down. Feel your fingers reaching out and away from each other. Find your breath. Take one more inhale in. Exhale. Place the heels down. Straighten the legs. Relax down. Forward fold. Start to walk over toward the left toes. Turn the left toes out. Come up to the ball of that right foot. Place the right knee down. Untuck the toes. Checking your alignment. Coming up to your forearms. Allowing the top of that right hip to really release, but keeping the bottom of the left hip engaged. Pulling the left heel back towards you. Relax the shoulders back. Engage the core. Take the arch out of the spine. Breathe. Same long inhales, long exhales. Staying here or reaching the fingers up into the sky. Pulling that left heel back towards you to engage underneath that left leg. Finding those same long inhales, long exhales. Maybe tucking the right toes, if you feel so called. Reaching the right heel back behind you. Finding that breath. Or keeping that right knee down on the earth. Untuck the toes. Push down with the top of that right foot. Pull that left heel back towards you. Long inhales. Long exhales. Trying to reach that right hip toward the front of your mat, left hip to the back of your mat. Take one more inhale in. Right fingers down, left fingers up. Try and relax that right shoulder down, away from your ear. Trying to bring those right ribs in toward the inside of that left thigh. Opening the left shoulder a little more up into the sky. Pushing down the top of that right foot, or reaching that right heel back behind you. Tucking that left hip in just a little bit more so it's not sticking out to the left. Finding the length in the spine. Breath down into your diaphragm. One more big inhale in. Exhale, place that left hand down. Place the right knee down if it's not already. Take an inhale in, coming up to the fingertips. Exhale, rolling back. Flex those left toes, crown of the head down. Keep pushing down with the top of that right foot the whole time. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, rolling back. Inhale, coming forward. Sink the hips, push down with the top of that right foot, shoulders back. Exhale, rolling back. Taking a few. Just reaching the crown of the head down. Maybe coming back onto that right heel. Maybe sitting on the inside of that right heel so you can reach the chest down to that thigh. Crown of the head, finding length with every inhale. With every exhale, sinking a little deeper. Finding that breath. Noticing any thoughts that have come up, letting them go. Finding a little deeper breath for every thought. A little more space in that hip. Finding that release. Slowly on an inhale, coming all the way forward to the lunge. Tuck the right toe, send that left foot all the way back and up. Bending the knee, letting that hip go however you need to. Placing that left foot down, inhale coming forward to plank. Exhaling down, inhale through and up. Maybe a few breaths, rocking from side to side. And then exhaling back to child's pose. Let it go. Find that breath. Notice if your child's pose feels a little different. Notice if your hips feel a little different. Just take a few deep, well-deserved breaths. All of the space in our hip bones, it's all connected to our second chakra, our creativity, sexuality. It's all this space in our pelvic floor. If you'd like, you can picture an orange spinning wheel spinning in that space that you've created. If you like visualizations, and if you don't like visualizations, maybe just think about your breath filling that space. Allowing a little more oxygen, a little more healing into that space. Our hip joints are the largest joints in our body. We carry a lot of stuff in there. A lot of memories, a lot of stresses, a lot of emotions. And see if you can just breathe through them, find a little more space. We're going to move through a standing series. And throughout our series, I want you to always come back to this same breath. No matter where you find yourself. Just allow yourself to breathe. Inhale, coming up to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Point the toe, let it fall over to the side. Keep your shoulders parallel to the front of your mat. Sink your heart a little closer down to those left toes. Take one more inhale in, get that knee a little higher. And exhale, bring it forward and through, placing it down near the right hand. Checking that alignment, be sure that your heel, knee, and hip are all in line. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center, left elbow on the outside thigh, push down with that right hand, sinking down into that right knee, pull that right knee back towards you, reaching the left heel back behind you, opening that right shoulder a little bit more, maybe reaching the left fingertips down, right fingertips up. Find that breath, pulling that right heel back towards you, tuck that right hip in, maybe coming into the bind, if that's in your practice. Breathe wherever you are. Down deep into that diaphragm. Try to not grip with the toes. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, reach your hands straight out in front of you. And then place them down on the earth. Place that left heel down. Prepare yourself for warrior two. Check if that heel wants to line up with that left arch. Inhale yourself up. Pulling the heels in toward each other, engaging underneath the entire pelvic floor, tucking the hips underneath you, right knee right out over the right toes. See if you can bend a little deeper. Feel the hips right underneath the shoulders. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe the fingertips out. Right heel back towards you. Grounding down with that left pinky toe, but pushing down with the left big toe. Right elbow to right thigh. Left arm either at your hip to open that left shoulder a little more, or up and over your ear. Pushing out with that right elbow to open that right knee out over the toes, but then using that right elbow on that right thigh to pull the right hip in toward the left a little bit more. Maybe right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Maybe bind, if that's in your practice. Find your breath. Find those same long inhales, long exhales. Wherever you are, inhale, cartwheel the arms back, warrior two. Exhale, bend a little deeper. Inhale, turn that palm up, send it back. Make your warrior peaceful. Bend a little deeper on the exhale, and then inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach with the fingers, left hip back behind you, like there's someone pulling that hip back to create a little space. Tuck that hip underneath you. Fingers down toward the shin. Peace grip, earth. Find that breath. Tuck that right hip under you a little bit more. Open that left shoulder a little bit more. Find those same long inhales, long exhales. Slowly start to bend into that right knee. Reach the right fingers to the outside of the right toe, left hand to that left hip. Gracefully find your way up. Ardha Chandrasana. Take a little bit of time in a balancing posture. Find that one spot to gaze down at the earth. Maybe just spending a little time balancing on that right leg, just seeing what it feels like. Stacking those hips, flexing those left toes. I know that right hip's starting to feel it. Maybe reach those left fingers up. Maybe stay right where you are, opening that left shoulder a little bit more. Maybe floating up off that right hand for just a breath. And then see if you can gracefully bring both your hands to heart center. Point them down toward the earth. Point those left toes down toward the earth, really using the outside of that hip for strength. Find yourself in Warrior 3. Find that one spot in front of you at which to gaze. Bend into that supporting leg. Send that left foot all the way back, coming into the lunge. Place the hands down. Send that right foot back all the way up into the sky. Let it go. Place it down next to the left. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down. Inhale through and up. Exhale back. Child's pose. A few deep breaths. You've made it. You're still here. Still with your breath. Notice any thoughts that have come up while you breathe. Notice if you can just let them go. We so often think that in order to make progress in our body, we have to kill ourselves. We have to push ourselves so hard. And the same is reflected in the mind. We think we have to push ourselves so hard for every great new idea, for every great piece of creativity. When progress in the body comes with patience and time, space and understanding. And it's the same in the mind. The best ideas happen one piece at a time. When we allow our creativity space, instead of trying to force it into our expectations of it. As you're ready, slowly coming up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that left heel up and back, point the toe, bend the knee. Keeping the shoulders parallel to the front of your mat, sink the heart down toward those right toes. Try and get that left knee a little bit higher. Find your breath. And then bring that left knee all the way forward and through. Find that alignment for crescent pose. Inhale yourself up. Find that stability. Find your breath. Hands down to heart center. Right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Push down with that left hand to bring your hands back to heart center. Maybe right fingertips down, left fingertips up, pulling that left heel back in towards you. Finding that breath all the way down into your diaphragm. Maybe bind if it's in your practice. If you're breathing hard, if you're pushing yourself, if your body is screaming at you, listen to your body. Back off. Place that right knee down. Come back to child's pose. Take a few breaths. Join us when you're ready. Listen to your breath. Listen to your body. Take one more inhale. Open that left shoulder a little more. Exhale. Reach your hands straight out in front of you. And then place them down on the earth. Place that right heel down. Prepare for Warrior 2. Inhale. Cartwheel the arms. Pulling that left heel back towards you, tucking the hips underneath you, engaging under that entire pelvic floor, grounding down for the outside of that pinky toe, pushing down with that right big toe, open that left knee right out over the toes, shoulders right over the hips, relax the shoulders down, breathe the fingers out and away, find that breath. Long inhales, long exhales. Turning the chin toward that left middle finger, reaching the right fingers back behind you. Try to not grip the toes as you take the left elbow down. Right hand to that hip, or up and over your ear. Finding those same long inhales, long exhales. Maybe left fingers down. Maybe bind if it's in. Breathe. Maybe trying to come back to those counts. And then on an inhale, gracefully find your way all the way back. Warrior two. Exhale, bend a little deeper. Inhale, turn that palm up, send it back. Exhale, bend that left knee, reach with the left fingers. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, reach with those fingers. Right hip back behind you, left hip underneath you, down towards your Trikonasana. Tucking that left hip, pushing down with that left big toe, grounding down with that foot back behind you, activating the outside of that right leg, opening that right shoulder a little bit more. Breathe. Counting those inhales and exhales. Slowly bending into that left knee, bring the right hand to your hip, left fingers to the outside of the left toes, find your way up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Maybe right fingers up, maybe floating up off those left fingers, feeling everything expanding from your center. Stacking those hips, flexing the right toes, feeling the right obliques engage to find that balance. And then slowly start bringing your hands to heart center. Turn those right toes so they're pointing down to the earth. Feel your chest and heel floating up into the sky. Finding warrior three. Using the strength of that hip. Find your breath. One more inhale in, float everything a little higher. Exhale, bend into that knee. Send that right foot all the way back, left foot back to meet the right. Maybe up into the sky, letting it go. And then bring yourself through your final vinyasa. Inhale forward to plank, exhaling down. Inhale through and up. Maybe grabbing a few extra push-ups and then heading back to child's pose. You have made it. You're alive. You're here. You're breathing. Take a huge inhale in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it go. One more time, huge inhale in. Open the mouth and let it all out. Reconnecting with that breath. Inhale, coming up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Our last downward dog of the day. Maybe take a few breaths. Notice if your down dog feels any different. Grounding down through that pinky and ring finger and feeling the length through the middle finger, index finger, and thumb. Find that breath. Inhale, coming up to the balls of your feet. Turn the gaze forward, step or float. Exhale, down, forward fold. Notice if your forward fold feels any different. You can get that belly button a little bit closer down to your thighs. Crown of your head a little heavier. And then heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat. Turn the toes out so that the balls of your feet are on the outside of your mat. Bend into your knees, send your hips down, come into a squat. If you are sinking into your armpits, take your stance a little bit wider so you can really bring those elbows in and place your heels down. So you feel it on the insides of your hips, finding your breath. If you'd like, you can have a little fun in crow here. Place the hands down, the knees up over the elbows, one toe at a time. Find your way up. Otherwise, take that right hand to the outside of the right foot and left fingers up into the sky. Find your breath wherever you are. Find those same long inhales, long exhales. Reaching the left fingers to the outside of the left toes, right fingers up. If you have a regular crow practice, maybe try to straighten the arms, get the knees all the way up into the armpits, and then meet us back in a squat when you're ready. Everyone can rock back and forth if you'd like, really let those hips go. Hips down on the earth. Bring the knees up into your chest, float your toes. Relax the shoulders back, shine the heart up. Grab the backs of the knees, shins parallel to the earth, flex and point the toes. Just saying thank you to your legs for all of their work. And then release the knees, reach down for the toes, and you can start to open and close the grip. Just feeling that blood circulating to your distal extremities. Finding those same long inhales, long exhales. Point the toes, straighten the legs as much as you can. Bring the palms together. Take a big inhale in. Exhale the fingers over to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, float everything up. Exhale, float everything 2 inches off the earth. Take a few deep breaths. Float. Find your core. Find your breath. And then relax down, releasing down into the earth. Bring bones, hip distance. Place your elbows down on either side of you. Reach your fingers straight up into the sky. And then trying to keep your knees on the other side of your hips. Back down on your mat by engaging your core. Your legs out. The more that you'll feel this in your core. But wherever you are, be sure that your low back never loses contact with your mat. Find your breath. Push down with those elbows. Breathe. Same long inhales and long exhales. And then place the heels down, hip distance apart. Push down into your heel, lift your hips up into the sky. You can tuck one shoulder blade and then the other, coming into bridge. Or if you'd like to release a little bit more of that core, place your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Whatever you need to release that core work. Finding those same long inhales, long exhales. finding your breath. Try and bring your knees a little more in toward each other so that's sticking out to the sides. And then slowly rolling down one vertebra at a time. Bring your feet up into your chest. If you're inverting today, go ahead and send your feet up over your head and come into plow. If you're not inverting today, take that right ankle on top of the left knee, flexing the right toes, knee back in. Come back for plow. You can get your hands as high up your back as you can, trying to get them as close as you can. And then find the balls of your feet up toward the sky. Coming into shoulder stand. For those of you in reclined pigeon or thread the needle, be sure and grab the other side. Take that left ankle on top of the right knee. Really push down with the outside of that left foot. Down toward the earth. Maybe the soles of the feet together. Or maybe play, if you're finding some stillness, with just holding yourself up with one or two fingers. Be sure that there's still no weight in the neck. It's all in the shoulders and elbows. And then slowly find your way back through man's pose, balancing your knees on your forehead. And then everyone rolling down, hugging your knees up into your chest, rocking from side to side. Give that low back a nice massage. Start to straighten that left leg out onto the earth. Hugging that right knee in. Let the right arm fall out to the side. Pull that right knee over the body with the left hand. You can stay here if you'd like. You can straighten that right leg, reaching for a peace grip with the left fingers. And or you can bend that left knee, reaching for the top of the left foot with the right hand. Just allowing that very last spot on the vertebra to release and relax. So often when we start to cool down, our life tries to come back. All those running thoughts, that chitta-vritti tries to come back. See if you can just tell all that left brain chatter, I will be with you in just a minute, I promise. Just allow me these last few minutes to integrate all of this work that I've done. To integrate these new habits, these new neural connections that I've created in my body and mind. Just allow me a little more time to solidify. Slowly bring your knees back up into your chest, coming back through center. Straighten that right leg out, hold that left knee in. Let the left arm fall out to the side, left knee over the body. Again, you can straighten that top leg if you'd like, bend that bottom knee. Just letting that last part of the spine release through down to that hip. Letting these last moments of our practice release. Letting those last thoughts go. Whatever habitual synapses in your brain are going off right now, whatever part of your brain is trying to grab your attention right now, see what's coming up and see if you can notice it as a thought pattern and let it change. Let it go. Tell that thought pattern, I would like a new pattern. I would like to just be with my breath for these last few moments to allow this time of beautiful rest and integration. This time just for me. Slowly bring the knees back through center, hugging them in one last time. And then extending out into our final Shavasana. You can tuck one shoulder blade and then the other. Let your toes fall away from each other. Reach the crown of your head out and away. If your tongue is connected to the roof of your mouth, release it so that you can feel that clear passage of air in and out of your nose. Feel the weight of your bones, the weight of your muscles, the weight of every cell in your body. Heavy, sinking down, supported by the earth underneath you. Allow yourself just to breathe. Allow yourself just to be. Slowly allow your awareness to come back to your breath and just notice how you're breathing. See if you can feel your breath in your fingers and your toes. Run your thumbs over your fingertips. Roll the wrists and ankles. Stretch your arms up above you like you're waking up from the best dream. And keeping the eyes softly shut, rolling onto one side or the other, find your way back to that same comfortable cross-legged position in which we started class. Allowing the journey to come full circle. Finding those same long inhales and long exhales. Notice if you're sitting a little easier, if your breath is coming a little calmer, and if your thoughts seem just a little bit further apart. Inhale the arms out to the side, all the way up into the sky, feeling that length. Hold the breath at the top. Bring the palms together in the energy of our entire class and exhale it all down in between the eyes to the third eye. May your life be filled with enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale, the hands in front of the mouth. May you always have the patience for enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale, the hands in front of the heart. May your heart have the healing it requires to live an enlightened life. Namaste. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you It's always such an honor to guide this wonderful journey of yoga, and please give back whatever you feel that experience was worth. For those of you at home, there is a donation button on your screen, and for those of you here at the studio, there's a donation bag on your way out. And just remember that change doesn't happen just with the time that we spend on our mats. Change happens with every conscious breath that we take in our lives. So as always, peace be with you. Thanks, everybody.